Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer and today I'm gamesplaining Tiny Towns. In the game of Tiny Towns, everyone is playing at the exact same time. The person whose turn it is marked by this hammer. That person will select one of the coloured cubes. If they, for example, took brown, everyone else at the table would also need to take a brown. Everyone individually will choose where they wish to place their brown cube, and then once everyone's placed, we pass the hammer along and the next person chooses a colour. What you're trying to do is maximize your points. Your points come from these cards. How do these cards gain points? I'm glad you asked. If you were to create that shape, those two cubes would then be able to come off your board and be replaced either of the two spots by one of those markers, showing that you have built that type of building. You'll notice there is different numbers of colours and different shapes that is necessary from those numbers of colours. This is the only card that is in every game. These cards are 1 of 4, so there's actually a selection of cards that are able to be used. You take them at random, so you don't see what's coming up, what the combinations are, until they're placed out. So running through them really quickly, cottages, you can build any number of cottages with this shape. By the way, buildings can be built upside down or back to front if you wish, as long as they're the same shape. This one does not count as that because the blue is in the wrong spot. That now counts as that. That also counts as that. So they can be upside down and back to front, either way around. Once that's been built, that would then get changed into the house on any of the 3 spots. That's worth no points at the moment. For that to be worth points, it's worth 3 points once it's fed. Feeding is in this type of building here. Each of that type of building will have a different way that it actually feeds a group of houses. So once that has been built, we replace that with that. In this case, there's any group of contiguous houses. So all 4 of those houses would be fed. Now they are not fed because they need to be joined together for this to feed them all. Wells are just worth a point if they're adjacent, in this card's case, to that building or to a building that is a cottage. So this one built over here is actually worth no points. If it was built there, it'd be worth 1 point. Then we come up to the Abbey. The Abbey, which in this case can be built with those particular parts. So I can replace any of those with an Abbey. The Abbey will get points, will get 3 points if it's not adjacent to the tailor or the warehouse or the feast hall. The tailor, if you were to build that, which looks like that building type, once that's built, you're getting 1 point for each tailor in this particular card, 1 point for each tailor plus 1 point for each tailor in the center. So theoretically, this is worth 3 points. There's 2 tailors in the center. If you were to build a tailor out here, this tailor is worth its own point plus 2. If it was here, it'd be its own point plus 3. Warehouses, once they're built, can usually hold something on top of them. The warehouse that we're using in this particular game, it's going to be a negative point for every cube that's placed on it. And this particular warehouse could hold 3 different cubes. What that enables you to do is, if the other player calls a color that you don't wish to put down or you can't put down, you can put that onto your warehouse. Sure, it's a minus point, but it may save you from being pushed out of the game early. Say grey is called, I can now use blue or I can now use red. Doesn't really matter which one. I can replace that cube without a drama. The last type of building is the feast hall, which is this green one. And this green one is getting 2 points, plus it will get another point if there's more feast halls in this board than there are with the player on your right. In a 2-player game, obviously you're talking about each other. In a 3-player game, it's just looking at your right-hand side. And that's the game. Everyone is playing that same game. The only thing that we have different is these. So everyone gets one of these cards. This is private information. No one else knows about it. Once you build that pattern, you can replace one of them with this piece. That piece will then get benefit from what is on the bottom. So some of the things give you points at the end of the game. Some of the things will give you immediate actions that you're able to do, or immediate things you can do to help you win the game. And every one of them is slightly different. The game goes until you can no longer put anything else on your board, so every square is full. They may be full with these cubes. That's fine. It goes till it's full. Once you're full, the other person then gets to finish off the game. If you're playing with more players, obviously the other players will continue playing in the manner they have been playing. I think that's all I have for Tiny Towns. It's a relatively straightforward game. Please go ahead and watch my gameplay to get a feel for how the game plays as a 2-player game. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them below. If you have any games that you would like to be gamesplained, please shoot me an email at thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at thegamesplainer to keep up to date with the games that I'm playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.